Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another pick a card reading. I am starting recording at 4:44 p.m., so I feel like this is going to be a good reading today. The topic is messages from your future self. I want to take a look into the future and like what your life is like from a particular point in the future that Spirit wants to talk about. And yeah, just see like what you have to look forward to, what you've been working towards, and really any guidance that wants to come through from Spirit. So I also have a couple of announcements that I wanted to make. Number one is that I've just restructured my Terra Nova group. It's been a year now since I started it, pretty much, which is like crazy. And I just felt like it was time for kind of a fresh start, a new beginning. So I've restructured it quite a lot and the price has dropped a lot, like drastically. So if you have been wanting to join or if you're interested in these live light language healings, they are really profound. Go check it out. All the information is in the description box below. You can read about it and see if it's right for you. The other thing I wanted to say is that I now have a little gift for you all because I love you all so much. If you would like a free light language healing, like basically similar to what I sell on my Shopify store, if you would like a free light language healing, I have just released one, and to access it, you just need to join my email list and then you'll get emailed it. And yeah, that way you can kind of like get a taste for my work. And just in general, I wanted to like give back to you all because I'm just really grateful for you all. Like really, yeah. So the final thing is that thank you so much. I just wanted to say thank you so much to everyone who has been leaving reviews on my Shopify store. I have just recently opened up 4 reviews. You can leave a review out of 5. And the love and support that I've felt from you all is just like so incredible. And I think I don't know, I guess I just didn't realize how much you were all vibing with the tapes and like how much you've been, feeling them. And it just made me feel so happy to know that my work is like reaching you and you're vibing. And yeah, I'm just really grateful for you all. So thank you so much for leaving reviews. It really means a lot to me. And you also have the opportunity anytime that you buy a product from now on, like about a week afterwards, you'll be emailed if you would like to leave a review. It's totally optional. But it just also helps me out as well. And yeah, I'm super grateful. So thank you everyone for being such an incredible community. I'm literally so blessed to have you all. And let's get into the reading. Hello, group number 1, and welcome to your reading. So you chose the Ace of Cups, which on this card is Love Begins. Number 1. So it's a new beginning in love. It's a new beginning in relationship. So your future self has a really harmonious relationship. I want to say like love, like romantic relationship, like a really nice harmony happening in that relationship, a real feeling of safety and security, and kind of like I feel like you're in a deeply committed relationship with somebody in the future. You might already be in that already, but I'm seeing that there's something about this that feels really important to your life. You might be getting married at this time or deciding to like take it further than you have before, like I'm seeing some kind of a ceremony, choosing to like sort of, I don't know, make something official for a lot of you. There's something about this. I'm seeing like marriage and just like a really romantic time, like the honeymoon phase, kind of, even if you've been with someone already for many years, I'm seeing kind of like a honeymoon phase where your like relationships go through many cycles and different energies. And I feel that this time in the future that Spirit's showing me for your life is like you're in a honeymoon phase with somebody and it's really, really nice. You're feeling really loved up, really, really chosen, really seen, and kind of like really secure. Like I'm seeing the way that this person looks at you. It's like you are their everything. Like they really have eyes for nobody else, and it makes you feel really, really chosen. Like I just keep getting that. I feel like you're feeling really secure about your appearance and about your worth and things like this. And this relationship is reflecting that to you in a really massive way. Yeah, there's something here about really feeling beautiful. Oh, hi, Nina. You're really feeling beautiful in this future point. Like you're feeling really beautiful, attractive, handsome, like hot, sexy, but it's kind of a bit like romantic as well. Like I feel that you're really happy with the way that you look in this future version of you. Like you've come to really accept maybe unique features that you have, but also I think that you actually are looking more beautiful, like more glowing, more healthy. If you have wanted to lose or gain weight for whatever reasons, or gain muscle or something like this, I feel like you have achieved that, because there's something about, I see you like looking in the mirror and you're like checking yourself out and you're really liking what you see. You're really enjoying like the curves, or like, you know, if you've slimmed down in some way, there's something about the way you're looking at like your body definition and you're really happy with it. You're like, I am happy. And I feel like this is something really important for you. I feel like there's been like, I'm kind of feeling that for some of you, you might have had some insecurities about your appearance, or there might have even been issues in relationship to do with maybe feeling jealous or having a jealous partner or something like this. And I feel like all of that is behind you. Or if there's been any issues with cheating, or like your partner making you feel insecure in the past or something like this, that is like long, long, long gone. And I see you really feeling really good in yourself. And having a partner that really doesn't play any of that out with you, like any of that karmic kind of pain and suffering, none of that. I feel like you've overcome whatever that was and you've healed something, and you're really feeling yourself, and it's really showing. Like you're really shining, you're feeling really, really attractive, and other people are really noticing this about you as well with the love begins. Like I'm seeing people really, hi Nina, people really taking notice of this, and hi Nina. Yeah, people really taking notice of this and just feeling that you're gorgeous. And I think that the world is kind of treating you in a certain way. Like I'm seeing you like walking through, if you're on holiday or something and you're at, I don't know, I'm seeing you kind of like I'm seeing you living a life that you've wanted to live for a long time. Like I'm seeing you in some kind of a luxury resort or some kind of a holiday home, like an Airbnb or something like this. And I'm just seeing you walking through and you're like, I made it. Like, this is what I've been wanting. I've wanted this level of like being able to like live hard, what do they say? Work hard, play hard, live hard, work hard, play hard. Like there's something about your career as well then where it gives you the opportunity to, basically you're making enough money where you can like do something that you've wanted to do for a long time. Like I'm seeing maybe you haven't had the money to invest in your appearance, or you haven't had the money to, I don't know, go on holiday in a certain way or to a certain place. But I'm seeing you on holiday as well. I'm seeing you being able to holiday. And in a way it makes you, it like adds to your self-image. Like it makes you feel like, yeah, this is where I belong, or this is what I've always wanted to manifest and achieve. And I'm seeing you just like really feeling yourself. Like I'm feeling you having this moment where you're like looking around your life and you're like, oh my gosh, like I've worked so hard for this, because it hasn't come without hard work. Like I think that this future version of you, like I'm seeing that they are really grateful for you and the work that you put in all these years. Like you worked for this, like you worked really hard for this and you deserve it 100%. But I'm seeing you in this kind of luxurious energy, and I'm seeing you, something about your appearance, your relationships being really spot on. You're in a honeymoon phase in a committed relationship with someone that truly respects you and sees you as like literally their king or their queen, and just only has eyes for you, and that makes you feel really, really good. And they also feel like you're exactly their type physically as well. There's something a lot about appearance, okay? Like I think you've gone through a glow up. You've gone through a glow up, and you also have the money that you've wanted to like maybe invest in like beauty treatments, or you have the time to like invest in, I don't know, doing like your face massage, or like you just have more time to kind of like slow down and like go inwards and like focus more on yourself and your self-care. Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of self-care in this future self, a lot of self-care. And even just Nina being present for your reading as well. Like cats, I feel like kind of embody like really, really good like self-worth and like self-care, right? Like I feel like cats really have that energy of like, I'm amazing, I'm gorgeous. And I literally tell Nina that every single day of her life. I'm like, you're the most beautiful girl in the world, Nina. I tell her every single day, because she is, she's just gorgeous. Her little face, oh my God. And so I just feel like I feel like someone's just gonna be like kind of gushing over you, and it's gonna make you feel really good. You're gonna be like, yep. And you're gonna kind of be like Nina, just lying there and be like, that's right, I'm gorgeous. And kind of having the opportunity as well. Cats have a lot of free time. They have a lot of like downtime. They have a lot of time to rest and relax, and they kind of live this luxurious life. And I'm seeing that for some of you, like a lot of money. Like you could have money for, like I'm seeing you might not have to do as much with your time. Like I'm seeing you on holiday and you've got this, like you're going out to restaurants or you're having someone else prepare your food, or you have the money to have cleaners come in, and there's something about it where it's like your time is being restructured so you have time to give to yourself in a way that you haven't before. Um, yeah. And it's really, really good. Like for some of you as well, it could be about children growing up and then you have time to kind of like you go through a glow up. Okay. Because I'm seeing you really enjoying your appearance. And keep in mind, we can become more attractive as we age. And I think you're definitely embodying that. Like the older you get, actually, the more you embody this like luxurious, like beauty energy. And I feel you become more and more and more attractive because you're healing more and more and more from kind of like any patterns of like low self-esteem or like not seeing yourself clearly and things like this. Like I see you being quite clear in the way you see yourself and being like, I'm gorgeous, I'm amazing, and that really like radiating through your aura. I keep also seeing you like by the beach or in water in somewhere. You see in this card how there's like water being poured and it's into this sort of rainbow, like rainbow river. So I feel like it could be that you're living or you're holidaying by water of some kind, like a lake, a river, the ocean. I feel like you live near a body of water though. I feel like it would be really important for you to live near a body of water, and it might not have been something you've had before. I feel like you live near water, or you have like a really nice bath in your home that you can like take a bath kind of like as often as you like, and it's like a super luxurious kind of experience. You know, one of those baths that are just like so nice. I feel you like in one of those, or you are holidaying in some kind of a place that has like a day spa and you're like getting some kind of treatments and there's like waterfalls on the wall, and it's like, I don't know, there's something really nice about this energy. It's very relaxing as well. We've got Nina hanging out relaxing on your reading, so it's like I feel like there's something really relaxing about this time in your life, and you've worked hard for it. You've worked hard to a point where you can relax. It's almost giving a little bit of like retirement energy in a way, but I feel it's more like I feel like you have a workaholic energy actually. Meaning I think you actually will love your work and you're always going to want to do something in your work, in your art, in your field of some kind. I feel like you're a very kind of like type A person. You want to keep expanding. You're very motivated. You want to keep going and like living life. So I don't feel like you're retired in that you're like, I'm never working again. But I feel like you have kind of a lifestyle of someone that's retired where it's not so much centered around work. And maybe you've set up passive income, or you have worked a lot to build a business up and then you can kind of take a step back, or I don't know, you've worked a really high paying job that was really intense for like a decade and then you're like, you know what, I've got heaps of savings, I'm taking a year off, or I'm taking 5 years off to travel and to just live life. There's something like where you're doing a change. It's a change of pace because it's a new beginning with the ace, right? And I see, again, you really enjoying this. I feel like travel will be important to you in this future version of yourself, even if it's just like traveling to a day spa, or going on like a weekend trip away with your partner to an Airbnb or something, or to a hotel, or to camping even. There's just something about like wanting to move around and kind of live and experience life a bit more, because I feel like there's something where you're coming out of a period where you've been really focused on your work and you haven't had as much time for yourself. So things are really shifting gears and you're having a lot more time for yourself, and you also have a lot more money to invest in yourself as well, which feels really good. But yeah, I do see water as being important to you at this time in your life. Like I said, you could be living by the beach or a lake or a river, or a waterfall, or somewhere where it's really rainy, or you might have a beautiful bath in your house, or you could be traveling to those locations quite often. So yeah, there's a very like utopian energy as well as I tune in with this card with love begins. Like it feels, and see, there's a partnership. There's two different people's hands holding the same cup and like pouring it in. So you might also be creating something with your partner in this future timeline. You might have gone into business with a partner, like a romantic partner, or it could even be you might have a business partner who you have a really close relationship with that is more than just business. Like you really value their friendship, or you've become very close because you spend so much time together, like running a business together. If you have wanted to start a business that involves collaborating with somebody else in some way, I feel you've already met that person by this time and you've already built a business that really serves you. For some of you, for some reason, I'm getting you might be running retreats or something, because I'm getting a really like relaxed, like luxurious vibe. Like maybe I don't know, you seem to have more time to do things that maybe has been on the back burner. Like maybe you're getting your yoga certification to be like a yoga teacher or a meditation teacher, or you've wanted to like start a retreat center or some kind of a community center. I feel like you're doing that at this time, but it's also like you're in a very relaxed phase with it. Like it's not stressful, and you're not bringing stress to work. You're not bringing your stress to your work anymore. Like there's something about you've mastered taking stress out of the equation and like not being a stress head when it comes to your work, when it comes to your life, and being able to maybe still manage many projects, or like, because I still feel like you're going to want to, what do they say? Like have your finger in many pies. I don't know why I always think of these sayings when I do channeling, but it's like you're still going to want to kind of like be in the thick of it. You're going to still want to live life. And like, I feel like work is still going to be important to your soul. But I feel like you've taken stress away from it so that you can actually just enjoy it for what it is. And I think you enjoy being like in a leadership position. You enjoy running things, being a manager, having your own thing going on. Or if you're an artist, you just obviously will still want to be doing your art. Even if you've made good money from it, you still want to continue kind of doing your art. But I feel like there's something about your exiting out of a time where you've had to like work really hard and you didn't have as much time for self-care, and that was really like taking its toll for a while there. And I feel like you were raising kids or something, and then they grow up and you have all this time for yourself again, and you're like, wow, okay, I actually have time for myself. Like this is crazy. So there's something like where your life is shifting gears in this future timeline, and you're feeling really beautiful because of it. You're putting a lot of time and effort into your self-care. So I feel like this future timeline I'm tuning into, your life feels quite easy and effortless, and it flows really nicely. Like I'm seeing the flowing water in this card, and it feels like things in your life are flowing in a way that you've kind of been working for. You've been working for this. You've been working hard to achieve some kind of flow in your life where things can actually be effortless. And it's like your life is switching over from needing to work hard and kind of push through resistances, trying to like kind of make something happen, to it just sort of happening and life kind of happening for you. I'm seeing your financial situation being a lot better. I'm seeing money being like quite an easy thing. Like I'm not seeing money on your mind at all. You're not needing to think about money. Like it's something that just is flowing in, or you've kind of become settled. For some of you, you might actually be in a partnership with someone who's also really wealthy. I'm seeing that for some of you as well. But I think that a lot of you like you enjoy your work in some way. So I think like the fact that you've enjoyed it has paid off, and you're just like in a much better financial situation. And like I said, you can focus a lot more on yourself, on your own self-care. And I'm seeing you feeling really beautiful, attractive, magnetic, kind of getting the goals that you've wanted. Maybe some of you have had goals to do with your appearance, or your body kind of shape or something. And I'm seeing you finally had enough time to kind of put towards that and to achieve that. And you've also had a lot more time for self-care and just relaxation in general. Like I'm seeing a very slow, like relaxing kind of energy, rather than like a very frantic kind of intense kind of energy where you don't have any time and your head's all over the place. Like I'm seeing it's like a really sort of chill kind of period in your life. But it feels quite permanent. It doesn't feel like, oh, it's just you're on holiday for 2 weeks. It's like, no, your whole life has like the energy kind of a holiday in a way, because you've worked for that and you've managed to manifest that. So yeah, let's pull a few more cards for you. Group number 1. We're going to pull from this Avalon deck to see what a spirit wants you to know about this future self, this future timeline. Look at that, the Deer, gentleness and diplomacy. See, I was feeling like a very gentle energy, like not having to, like life feels gentle on you. Like life feels gentle and velvety and soft, rather than being like really harsh. And look, back of the deck is the Water Fairy. So we're going to pull that one too, the Water Fairy. That's right. It feels like your emotions are very gentle. Like you don't have to, like, a lot of the time life is like really stressful and we're in situations, maybe like financial situations or relationship situations that can be like really, really stressful on the body. And I'm just seeing kind of like this alkaline energy, like alkaline where it's like, like there's sort of this lowered level of inflammation in your body to do with like not having stress, because, stress can cause like disease. And like if we have a lot of emotional trauma and stuff, that can also manifest as physical symptoms. And I'm seeing like some kind of resolution of stress related disorders, like stress related mental health issues or stress related physical health issues, or if stress was compounding something to do with the physical symptoms, I'm seeing that really being taken away, and like you just being able to be in this like really nice kind of healed kind of place because you don't have so much stress. Like I'm just seeing so little stress in your life, and you've managed to you've designed your life in a very intelligent way so that you don't have stress and so that your emotional experience feels really nice. Like I'm getting the honeymoon phase like in relationship, but it's because even if you've been with this person like a decade or whatever, it's still a honeymoon phase because the stress has been taken out of your life. Like, they say like one of the biggest stresses within a romantic relationship is like financial issues, or if there's something going on with a child, if a child is sick or something like this, that can just put so much stress on relationships. So I'm just seeing like the conditions in your life being really favorable for a very stress-free life and existence, and your physical health is really thriving because of that. And I'm seeing something about you're kind of taking it easy though. Like I'm seeing you doing more like relaxing kind of exercise, like walking, hiking, maybe doing like yoga, Pilates. I'm seeing you doing like swimming as well, like swimming laps. I'm seeing there's something about your lifestyle that's also really supporting your nervous system health. And I'm also seeing that you've got a lot of time to kind of like look inwards and like contemplate your dreams, or work on any kind of lingering emotions that need to be processed and released from your past. But I also feel that the general emotional experience that you're having is like one of joyfulness and excitement and aliveness and really enjoying life. Like I'm also seeing you being surrounded in relationships, not just your partner, but other relationships like friendships, a sense of community. For some of you, it could be like a business partner is like kind of like really, you're really close to them, like you really, really care for this person, you have a lot in common, like you're kind of a perfect match. I'm just seeing you being full of relationship, like it feels really good being in relationship in this period of your life. And I think that again is something that you've worked towards quite hard. Like you're a hard worker. I keep getting that. And that's why this energy might feel kind of foreign to you, where you're like, really? This is going to be my life? Because I think like you're just really hardworking, and you're always kind of like go, go, go. And you want to like fit in as much things, and you want to, I don't know, work as hard as you can to like be as successful as you can be and things like this. I see you being really that kind of person. But I think that once you've reached like a level of achievement with your goals, it will make you reflect. It will make you shift kind of gears and think like, well, what else is there to life? Like, what is the meaning of life? Like, I'm seeing you being in a really contemplative place. Like, actually, I feel like you've achieved certain goals that you've had, like long-standing goals. I think especially to do with career and finance. And you're kind of like in a position with your career where you're like really happy with it. You're really happy with your money, and you're being really taken care of financially. You feel really taken care of. For some of you, like I am getting that you might have a partner who is very, very wealthy, and you can kind of like chill. That will be true for some of you. But for a lot of you, it's like your own work and you've worked really hard, yourself, whatever you resonate with. But yeah, so you're kind of like in a different phase where you're like contemplating life, and it's almost like you feel finally like, oh, I actually really need to slow down. I actually really need to slow down because I feel like going too hardcore, there's something about it where it like wasn't serving you long term. It's kind of like burnout kind of energy where it's like you just were pushing yourself so hard in your job and in your work. And I think that you're also overcoming some kind of a workaholism. Like I think that you get so inspired and so excited about your work, but then it's also like maybe you forget to eat or you forget to sleep, or you go for long periods without doing any self-care, and then it's sort of like things can get a bit out of balance. So I think that this phase in your life, like things are really coming back into balance, and it might be quite foreign. Like listening to me talking about this, you might be like, really, that's going to be my life? But I feel like it's actually going to feel really nourishing for you. And there are a few things like from your childhood that might need to also be coming up during this phase. Like I just feel you being really gentle with yourself and just like being really intuitive as well. Like you wake up in the morning and you get to genuinely intuit and decide like, what do I feel like doing today? Do I feel like going for a swim? Do I feel like going to the beach? Do I feel like getting a massage? Do I feel like going to Pilates? Like that, you're just going to kind of be very intuitive, and or do I feel like journaling? Do I need to reflect on my feelings? And I think that during this phase as well, you will have some deeply held grief come up to be released. Like, it could be grief. If I say that, you might know what it would be about. There might have been a loss in your life that you've never fully processed, or that life hasn't kind of given you the space that you need to like process things that you've gone through. Because sometimes we're just like caught in survival mode, and things in our life are just so intense for such a long time that we're kind of like, I can't believe I just went through all of those things, but I didn't really process it. And that's kind of what I feel like you're going to look back on. Like, I think that you went through a lot during a certain period of your life, and then your business or your work, your career kind of took over, and you just like put all your energy into that. And that's what I mean by workaholism, because sometimes we can be like I'm getting the energy of like the underlying like reason for workaholism is often kind of channeling energy into one thing and like focusing on that so that you don't have to deal with other things. And so I'm seeing you kind of like zooming out in your life and like looking at a bigger picture and like letting go of kind of tunnel vision on your work, and really seeing like, okay, yeah, actually I need to process this thing that I've gone through. I need to let this grief kind of come out of my cells and out of my body. And I feel that it's going to be really nice. Like, it's not going to be like, you're not going to be in a period of grief where you're just like sad all of the time and, you can't get out of bed and you just want to eat or whatever, don't want to eat. It's not going to be like that. It's going to be more like you're in a really nice place. Like, the Ace of Cups is a really enjoyable energy. You're going to be enjoying life and like living life in a way that you want to and that you desire to, and feeling really like safe and taken care of and loved up and in love and all this stuff. But because you've slowed down, you're giving yourself the space to truly heal. And there are just like a few things that I feel like are going to get processed and released, like events that you've gone through, experiences of grief and loss, or even ancestral imprints and things like this, or relationships with family members. Something like this needs to be processed and released. And it's going to come through some crying. Like, you're going to, for some of you, it could be dreams as well, and you're going to kind of like wake up and cry and be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I went through that, and kind of like really love on yourself. And kind of, I feel you being your own healer during this period. Like, I feel like it's very self-led, like you're leading yourself through this healing process. You're not necessarily working with anyone else. I think you're just doing it yourself, and you're doing it just really organically and naturally and gently. Like, you're not forcing it. You're not, I don't know, you're just letting yourself truly be. And then in that way, like, just like when you take away stress, the body can start to heal and like regenerate. It's kind of doing that as well emotionally for you, where it's like you're taking away the stress, you're living in a much more grounded place where your needs are met, and you can start to think about like higher level things. There's like Maslow's hierarchy of needs. If you've ever studied psychology, you've probably heard of this, but it's like Maslow's hierarchy of needs. It's like the base of the pyramid of like our needs is like our basic survival needs. Like, we need shelter, we need food, we need, money to pay like for a house, like all these kinds of things. And then above that, it's like safety within relationships, and then it goes up and up and up. And like the highest level of needs, then once we've got our basic needs met, becomes like, oh, I want to, like, it becomes like a spiritual quest. Like, we want to reach spiritual enlightenment, and we start to search for higher meaning in life. But we kind of can't do those higher level things when we're stuck in survival mode, when we're stuck just trying to like pay the rent or get enough food on the table for the family or whatever. Like, that kind of makes us, just focused on those lower level things. And I feel like, yeah, burden on the back of the deck. Exactly. Like, I feel like you've been through things in life that have really burdened you, and it's been like really heavy. And I think that something about like you've been caught up in patterns to do with the lower level needs that we need, like our basic survival needs, like of money. Like, I feel like money is really strong for this group, like just needing to like focus on getting money. And I think that it's been really important to you to reach a level of success where money stops having any hold over you anymore. Like, I feel like that's been a personal goal that you've had, where you're like, I want to have enough money where it's like, I don't even have to think about money. And I think you're going to get there. And then once you get there, it's like, okay, now it's time to heal though. Now it's time to like go to those higher level needs of like, okay, now I can release trauma. Now I can start to contemplate the meaning of life. Now I can start to kind of pursue enlightenment in a way. So I see you doing that. I see you like having some really sacred spiritual practices as well as part of this gentle kind of flowing life where I see you doing like meditation and maybe chanting, light language, like having like a very spiritual, kind of spiritually led life. I also see you taking some time on your own as well. As much as I've talked about relationship, I think your relationship with yourself and your relationship with spirit is really, really important to you, and something that I feel you're almost like fiercely protective of in a way. Like there's something about you need your solitude, you need your alone time as well. And I see you maybe like having the money to like book a trip and just going away by yourself, or taking time throughout the day just to be with yourself. Or you might even want to like, I don't know, have your own like studio or your own little home or something where you're kind of just like in your own energy. And this as well is really important for you to heal. I just heard healing from codependency for some of you as well, where you might have been really attached to others and felt like unsafe to be on your own or something. Or it's more about like healing though, like where we can sometimes, if we have we're focusing always on relationship, then we don't always have the space for certain emotions to kind of like bubble up and be cleared. And so it's like I see you kind of taking time on your own to have those experiences of deeper emotional healing happen. Okay, so let's get a couple more cards for you. Group number 1. Wow, look at that. The eagle, spirit integrity and connection to the angelic realm. Yeah, like you're going to be so deeply connected to spirit. I really feel that. I really feel that. Let's get one more card for you. Well, didn't I say? I love it when the cards confirm it. Yeah, so that's what I'm feeling. Like I'm feeling wealth though. I'm feeling like money, like a lot of money. Not just like, oh, you know, my job, I get paid pretty well. It's like, nah, I'm seeing like a lot of money, like wealth money. Like I can go book this trip away, and I don't have to think about it. I don't have to put it into the budget. Like I've already got money sitting there to be spent. I'm seeing a lot of money. Man, it's gonna feel really good for you, group 1. You're gonna feel so good. It's gonna feel really good. And the thing is, like, as well, it's also about free time, because it's not just wealth, it's about free time. And that's why I was saying it's not just that your job is paying really well. It's like it's something about you having a lot of money and you have a lot of free time. And you need both, okay? Especially as a spiritual being, which you are. If you're drawn to my channel, you are a spiritual being. You are on the ascension path. Like, free time is just as much of a currency as money is, okay? We need both, especially like as we raise in our frequency, naturally you will find that you actually achieve more and more free time, or more and more, like, you know, you won't necessarily fit into the 9 to 5 grind forever kind of thing. You find that you outgrow it, or that you naturally find ways of making money that doesn't take all of your time and energy all of the time, because you need time for your spirituality. And that's what this wealth is giving you. It's giving you time for your spirituality, for your integrity and your connection to the angelic realm. I actually want to pull a card for you to see like what kind of time frame this is coming in for you. I know that it will be different for everyone, but if spirit wants to, we'll see. Spirit might not want to tell us, but I'll check for you, group number 1, because I think I'm hearing some of you being a bit curious about that and being like, yeah, but how far away is this? Because I want to know. So spirit, can you tell us any kind of a time frame with using timing tarot? Can you give us any kind of a time frame for when this future timeline is going to be here for group 1, sort of an average or in general future time frame, spirit? Okay, so this would be years away. All right, so years. Okay. Which makes sense, you know, take it however many years you feel like this is in reach, but like for, you know, everyone's coming from different places, different ages, different like life experiences, but I feel like even in a handful of years this could be your life. I'm not even kidding. Like I feel like it's actually closer than a lot of you realize, and especially because I think that part of the way that this is unlocked for you is that it's unlocking through your spiritual growth. Like as you grow spiritually, like I was kind of saying, as you grow spiritually, you actually naturally attract situations and opportunities where you can make a lot of money without having to, like you have more opportunities to like make better money. You have more opportunities to have more free time, and to live a life that you've wanted to live that's a lot slower, and that gives you the opportunity to like work on your spiritual path to do with like emotional clearing and cleansing. Because in order to make money, a lot of the times, like literally 9 times out of 10, the block is in the self-worth. The block is in the worthiness. Like, I don't feel worthy of this amount of money. I don't think I'm good enough at my job or at my role, whatever. And these sorts of beliefs can linger really deeply in the subconscious and make us feel like, oh my gosh, am I ever gonna be able to like break free from this glass ceiling that I feel like is hanging over me? And the block is always subconscious. It's like, it's always subconscious. And it's these lingering kind of core beliefs of like, I'm not good enough, or I'm not worthy, I'm not lovable, I'm too much, I'm too little, whatever. That is what the block is to do with the money. So it's like, think about it that way and understand that things are not always linear. Things are not always like working in a, things are not always like working, like it's not always about like, oh, the amount that you work hard at something. Because if you have these core beliefs that are like really, really stuck into place and not moving at all, then you could like work as hard as you possibly can and burn yourself out. But if you're not progressing spiritually and emotionally, and if those subconscious core beliefs aren't shifting, then things might not change. So that's what I'm trying to like sort of make you see, is like that this is already available to you, but it's about clearing out. Like this card really talks about emotional healing, like the water fairy, emotional healing. Like there needs to be a clearing basically so that you can access this next level of your spirituality. And it's happening anyway because you're on an ascension path. Like you're already working towards it all of the time. But I think that you're going to actually have kind of this experience where your mind gets a little bit blown, where you're like, wow, I can't believe that I didn't see like how amazing I was. I can't believe that I didn't see how worthy that I was. That's what I'm seeing from this future self. You're going to be like, I can't believe that I thought that I didn't deserve this, because this is a lot to receive, group 1. So it's sort of like, if you have blocks to receiving, if you have blocks around your self-worth, then it's like this is being blocked from coming in for you straight away, right? And it can take years to start to reprogram the subconscious mind. It is a slower process. I don't know why it's like that, but it just has been in my experience. It can take some time. But keep in mind that you're already on the path, and this reading is confirmation that you are. And that keep in mind again that things aren't always linear, and it's not always like the amount of work that I put in is what I get out. Sometimes it's actually different, and it's about, progressing spiritually, shifting the subconscious mind, recognizing how worthy you already are and that you've always been, and having that shift in perception that allows the space for massive wealth to come in for you and for your life to be restructured, where it's a lot more gentle of an existence for you. All right, group 1, I hope that inspired you and helped you in some way. Please check out all the links in the description box below if you would like to explore my work further. I have a shop with lots of different light language tapes. I feel like for you, the Sacred Earth activation would really help, because it helps with subconscious blocks around self-worth, particularly connecting to money. And also because you got the water fairy, the sacred water activation as well, to help you with any kind of emotional blocks that might be there, and deeply held grief, which I felt I picked up on in your field. Yeah. Also check out my group Terra Nova. We've just like completely restructured it, and it's like a totally different, fresh vibe. So if you feel like you'd like to join and get some light language healings, then I am there for you, and I'm sending you so much love. Take care. Hello group 2. So you chose the shadow card, and this is actually a really positive reading. So don't be like, don't be intimidated by the shadow card energy, because this is such a positive one for you, okay? So just keep in mind the shadow card is actually the moon card in traditional tarot, so it's the moon energy. So the future timeline that I'm tuning in for you is one where you have overcome some kind of a fear or like a subconscious block, and you're doing something that you've always wanted to do. And I feel like it's something that has maybe scared you in the past, like you've been scared to speak up, or you've been scared to show yourself, your authentic self in the world, or you've been scared to, like there's some kind of a fear that you've had around putting yourself out there and like really pursuing something that you really wanted to do. Like it's sort of like the energy of, I don't know, if you really thought about like what is it that you most want to do, or what is it that you most want to say, and it's like, oh, well, if I really thought about it, I love to talk about this, but I'm too afraid I would get too much hate, or, people wouldn't understand me, or I'd be ridiculed, or I'm too embarrassed, or, some of you might like not be very open spiritually. Like people might not know that you're spiritual, because you can get a lot of I don't know, you can get a lot of kind of like criticism from the collective consciousness, from like the normies and stuff about being spiritual, because it can be very misunderstood, and kind of like devalued and things like this. It's something that you've been afraid to be devalued by, but it's very much to do with like your role and your mission on earth. And I see you really embodying like a different phase in this future timeline where it's like you've overcome the shadow, you've overcome the fears, and you're putting yourself out there in a major way. And you're really being seen. Like, I'm seeing, as much as this says shadow, I'm actually seeing you in the spotlight. Like, you're on the center stage, you're putting yourself out there, you're talking about something, you're using your voice, or you're sharing your art in a way that you've never been able to do before. You're sharing yourself as a spiritual being, and you're okay with that, and you're okay with being seen. It's like about being seen. It's okay. You're okay with being seen. You're okay with being heard, and you're okay with like putting yourself out there, because I think there's been fears around being criticized or being misunderstood, or because maybe your work or the field you want to talk about is really different or strange or unusual or unique or eccentric or controversial or misunderstood by sort of everyone, like the half of the world or something. So there's something like where you've had to go through a period of like clearing fears in order to step into this role. And it hasn't been easy to go through this sort of shadow work and clear the fears that you have towards your creative self-expression in the world. But I'm seeing this future self like wants you to know that you do overcome any fears that you might have, even if like right now in your life you feel like it's totally not overcomable or something. It totally is. And you're experiencing life on the other side of it, and it's like you're looking back at the time you spent in the shadows, and you know, it's quite shocking to you like how hard that was because of how contrasting it is to your experience. For some of you, it could also be that you've been working towards something for a long time and you've had some shadow blocks to do with abundance and success in a certain field or a certain work, or something to do with your mission, your voice, your art. You've had some kind of shadow blocks, for example, like not feeling good enough, and that has been manifesting in the way that your work has been kind of being seen by the world, or the way that things have manifested for you has been kind of impacted by some shadow stuff. And so your future self has like overcome that and done a lot of shadow work, which I know you're already doing, but it's like you've gotten to a milestone point where it's like you've shed a really heavy layer of this burden, and you're standing like strong, and you're okay with being this very successful person. Some of you, it's like you've achieved something that you actually questioned if it was even possible to achieve. Where you're like, is this even really possible for me? I don't even know if I'm going to achieve this. Like, it's something that you've had to overcome a lot of things in order to achieve. Let's get some more information from some more cards, Spirit, for group number 2. What do you want them to know about their future timeline, their future self? What do you want them to know? The Queen. That's right. The Queen. Because it's like you're really standing in your self-worth in a way that you were really blocked off from. And that was what I was trying to say about overcoming the shadow stuff. Like, for some of you, it's stepping into a new arena, like a new kind of career that you haven't felt like you were ready to like take on yet. Like, there's some kind of fear that you had to overcome. But for others of you, it's like maybe you've been working as a musician your whole life, but you never had a big break because you had this like self-worth issues. The Queen makes me think of self-worth. It's like that is truly the core. Like, I've had some crazy like third eye shifts recently where I've been shown things and I'm like, whoa, it's literally like so trippy when it happens, when I realize like how much this stuff dictates like the way that our entire life manifests, like what we are capable of achieving and what we are capable of receiving is so dictated by our sense of worthiness that comes from deep within our subconscious mind. And it's not something that we can just consciously decide like, yeah, I'm ready, I'm worthy of this, I want to receive this. It's a deeper process where we have to like heal our inner child and kind of reparent our inner child in a lot of ways, to kind of be in a place where we feel good enough at that subconscious level, because 95% of our mind is actually subconscious to us, meaning that we're not operating from just our conscious thoughts alone, the thoughts that we're aware of, or the way that we might be dictating or directing our life consciously. The things like the main things that are vibrating kind of and creating points of attraction are often quite unknown to us. But as we progress spiritually, we become more aware of like what those things are and where they might come from, and we start to unravel them, and then we start to make progress in our life. So you're going to feel like a queen or a king in this future timeline. You're going to be feeling like you've really overcome those like those shadowy things inside that make you feel shame or make you feel guilt or fear or things like that, especially around self-expression, like creative self-expression and being seen and being on the stage, being on the spotlight. Like, I think that I'm seeing you being really confident in this timeline. Like, I'm seeing you stepping out onto stage, having an audience and being like, here I am, and really feeling great about that. Like, for some of you, it could be an online audience, but I'm seeing a lot of you actually doing things in person, like having a stage. For some of you, it's music. For some of you, it's like some kind of like speaking, like you're speaking, you're channeling information, or you're telling your story to a big group of people, or some of you might be like running workshops or running retreats or something. I'm seeing you really feeling really embodied and really having cleared out the subconscious blocks that were keeping you from your destiny. It's kind of like I feel like you felt the split between this shadow self and this queen self or this king self, where it's like, you kind of were like, I know that I'm the queen, or I know that I'm the king, but it's like this shadow stuff kept keeping you from the full embodiment of that. And I see this unification happening within your subconscious and your conscious mind, where it's like now you're really, really feeling that royalty energy through and through. You're feeling it. And you're feeling yourself as well. I feel like you're going to be feeling really good about your appearance, and you're going to be feeling really magnetic. All right, let's get some more cards for you. We have the Horse, accepting help from another and delegating authority. You know what this makes me think of? Receiving, okay? Accepting help from another. What is accepting? Accepting, receiving. That's what it makes me think of. It's like you're going to have solved your receiving issues. Okay, so all of you, no matter what, gender you are, it's like all of you had some issues with the feminine energy to do with receiving and magnetism, because the feminine energy is kind of it's the energy of receptivity, and it's the energy of being a magnet to your desires, rather than the masculine is more about pursuing and pursuit and kind of like going after something, using your will and your power to like achieve things, whereas the feminine is more about just receiving things, like letting life come to you through magnetism and letting it be really easy. And that's really the archetype that you're meant to live from. Again, no matter what your gender is or whatever, you're meant to live from this feminine archetype of like, life can be very easy, life can be very sweet, life can be very simple. You have this really, really deep feminine energy that you're meant to utilize in this lifetime. And it's been kept under shadows for you a little bit, where it hasn't fully been like switched on. I think you've experienced it for different periods, or you've experienced it occasionally, or in certain ways, but you haven't experienced the full archetype of it yet. And your future self is coming through to say, hello, this is coming in for you. And you're going to be so good at receiving. Group 2, you're going to be like so good at receiving money and also receiving adoration, because that's the other thing I'm getting, is that it's not just about money, although money is a big part of this and this royalty kind of energy, but it's also about receiving like the praise from your admirers, from your supporters, from your fans, from people who appreciate your work and are like, thank you for doing this work in the world, thank you for being this voice, or thank you for your art. Because there's been blocks to receiving even that, even receiving compliments or receiving, like I said, adoration. It feels really like that. It's like there's been some blocks where it's like it hasn't been going in. Even if it's been coming, it's like it hasn't fully been going in. And I think that you've been really caught up in patterns of being an overgiver, where you've been giving and giving and giving to the world and to others. And this is really going to shift things around, where you come into balance with both giving and receiving, but it's going to feel like a lot of receiving because you're not fully used to it. Like you've lived a lot of your life in the energy of giving to others. So coming into balance and feeling this receptivity and like accepting help, accepting all this love, accepting all this money, it's going to feel like so abundant for you. It's going to kind of be like, wow, like life can be this good. I can't believe it. With this Horse card, I'm feeling like a very independent energy from you, group 2, where you've been very independent in your life. Like that's been just a way that you've lived life. Like you've just been almost too independent, in that it's been hard for you to kind of let people in, or to like let people help you, or to trust people that they actually are going to be there for you. You might have been let down a lot of times, had a lot of abandonment stuff to work through. And that's what I'm seeing changed for you in this future timeline, where it's like something around that trust issues or that sense of like hyper independence has shifted. And I feel like part of your independence actually will remain, of course. Like it's not like that will completely go away, but it's just that things will come more into balance in a more harmonious way, where you can receive the things that you want to receive without that independence kind of blocking you, and also creating more of a burden where it's like you have to do everything yourself, which is just not realistic in a way. But I feel like this independence that I'm picking up, though, actually makes you incredibly magnetic. It makes you very, very magnetic and very, very attractive to people. And I feel for this group, like, you're just meant to be seen. Like, you're meant to be famous. You're meant to be on the world stage. And I keep seeing your throat chakra. I keep seeing your throat chakra and your voice. So your communication, it could be your sound, your singing, your song, but especially your voice, like whatever that really means to you, how that speaks to you. Even though you have this extreme like independence, kind of the independence streak inside of you, I also feel like there's something around you have been grappling with the role that you're here to like have in this world. Like, you're here to play a certain role, and that looks like, I feel for a lot of you, a certain career or a certain like a role, meaning like you're meant to be a performer, or you're meant to be a teacher, or you're meant to be a spiritual leader in some way. And I feel like for all of you, there will be these threads of spirituality within your work. There's something around really taking on a more authentic kind of embodiment of your role. There's been some kind of shadow work around this for some of you as well. And I'm getting this for all of you. And like, kind of be flexible in how you interpret this for your own life. But I'm kind of feeling that there's something around you're meant to be kind of controversial, or you're meant to be unique or different. This could be around what you're speaking about. Like, if you are meant to kind of communicate about certain things, it could be that it's very controversial, or there's a lot of pushback from the collective consciousness, because I feel that a lot of you have this futuristic energy. Even if you're a performer of some kind, it could be like that your art, you're meant to infuse some kind of spiritual energy into your art, more than I feel like maybe you've been letting yourself do. There's something about you've been wanting to be more like palatable or something to the masses. And I feel like this has actually been kind of actually restricting you from the level of success that you're meant to have, because part of your gift is that you are meant to be very unique, like, and you're meant to completely let your creative essence through your throat chakra, like completely expressing yourself creatively and with the way that you communicate. And even, like I said, if you are like a classical performer of some kind, like a singer or something, a musician, I feel like maybe there's been a part of you that hasn't wanted to like fully, I don't know, maybe share your spiritual side, or I don't know, infuse more like, I don't know, light language or something into your art. I don't know, I'm just trying to think of an example to kind of like flesh out what I'm feeling. And there's something about like this future self, which I feel you have gotten to a point where you really don't care anymore. And that is actually part of what makes you so successful, is because you don't care. You have this kind of like excitement, like a cheekiness, like a provocativeness, like a cheekiness, where you kind of enjoy the fact that maybe people will react to you or who you are, your authenticity. Or if you're talking about something controversial, it's like you enjoy being provocative. You enjoy the fact that you're kind of like from the future, and things that you have to say maybe not everyone has caught up on yet. And I feel like this new energy that you're embodying, it's like you're just far more okay with your authentic self, and you're okay with the fact that some people love you and some people hate you. Like, I feel like that's actually been a block to you really stepping into this role, is like that maybe you wanted to be universally loved, or you wanted to kind of like fit in a certain way, or not stand out too much, or kind of just like be like other performers or other artists that you like, or have a voice that's similar to other people's. And it's like, that's not you though. Like, you're meant to be yourself, and you're meant to be unique. And that is actually what's going to bring you the highest level of success. But it's something, like I said at the start, that you've been too afraid to do. Maybe it's a topic that you've been too afraid to talk about, or it's an artistic move that you've been too afraid to make, or a rebranding or something that you're like, no, I'm too afraid to do this. There's something about it's like where your authenticity is just going to come out, and it's kind of going to come out like when a dam releases and all of this is just gushing out of you, and you're like, you know what, I'm not hiding anymore. And it's like it's almost like this energy where it's like, I can't be bothered. Like, I can't be bothered trying to like cultivate myself to be liked. And some of you, it might be like more conscious, and for some of you, it might be more subconscious. Like, you didn't really think about it that much, but somehow you just ended up trying to like cultivate your art in a way that would make it more palatable to people. And I think that, you know, funnily enough, has actually made it less successful, because ultimately, like, you have a role to do. Like, this, whatever it is that you think of when I'm talking about it, like whether it's you communicating, being a teacher, a spiritual leader, or if it's some kind of performing energy, like, you are meant to be performing, like on the stage, in the spotlight, being seen and heard. whatever it means for you, like whatever you think about, there's some kind of level of authenticity that you have yet to tap into, because it's about full embodiment of who you are and your creative genius, and a full like love affair with who you are. Like, I'm seeing that it's like you fall in love with yourself and you love yourself so much. And that's part of this independence energy that you have, which I was saying like makes you very magnetic, is because being very independent and kind of like not needing people can actually make people kind of like more drawn to you, right? Because there's I don't know, there's just sort of this energy that's created, like a space that gets created where people can kind of come in. And I see you have this very magnetic energy, and it's only going to compound and become more and more and more over time, especially as you let in this authenticity, like this flow of authenticity through your throat chakra. And of course, for your group, I'm feeling a tightness in my throat. I swear there's like there's like one group each reading or something that always seems to be about the throat chakra. It's so funny. But I'm just seeing you get to a point with your creative work where you're very independent and you don't care anymore. It's like, I don't care if people love me or they hate me, because I love me and I love what I'm doing and I love what I have to say and I love that this is my role in the world. And I know, because I'm connected to spirit, that this is what I am here to do. And that's the kind of energy that you're going to be embodying. And of course, it's going to make you very successful. It's going to make you very, very loved. And I'm just seeing this virality, like you able to go viral. Did I make up that word? I swear sometimes when I channel, I make up words. Anyway, you're going to be going viral, okay? You may have already been viral already in your life, or you might have been already by the time that I'm tuning into this energy, but it's like, now I'm thinking, how far away is this anyway? You know, this could actually just be a matter of months away is what I'm getting. Or even weeks for some of you. For some of you, this is not far away at all, okay? Like, I feel like for this group, like for group 1, I felt like it was kind of more like years away, for example, but contrasting with this group, I feel like you're more like, actually, it's not that far away. There's just a few things left of like, really, it's an internal shift. Like when this internal shift happens and there's more of this self-love and loving yourself for who you are and letting go of that judgment or that wanting to kind of conform to a status quo, that's when you're going to reach your greatest and highest levels of success. For a lot of you, it's like coming out of the closet in some way. I mean, for some of you, it could be about your sexuality, but kind of like using that term kind of to describe, like, maybe if you want to come out and like be like, yeah, okay, I'm a spiritual person, and maybe it's something you were trying to hide within your career in some way. You like didn't want people to know because you felt embarrassed or you felt ashamed of being spiritual, because it's something that can be like really judged by people who don't understand it. And it's like something where you kind of like get over that and you're like, you know what, I'm spiritual, and you know, it's a superpower. And it's sort of like you're letting go. It's really interesting, because now I'm getting like fears. Oh my God, there's an ad. Go away. No. I'm getting like the fear that you've been feeling. It's like you're letting it go and you're okay if other people are afraid of you, because, you know, I'm kind of getting it's like a fear of your own power. Okay. That's what I'm getting. It's like the deepest thing that I'm getting here is like you've been a little bit afraid of your own power. And I've seen you shedding that, like I said, not that far away, like a matter of weeks, a matter of months. You're shedding this layer of fearing your own power. And it's like you're kind of okay if people fear you. You're kind of like, you're creating an independence energy within yourself where you're like, you know what? It's not my business. It's not my problem if someone else is afraid of me or doesn't understand me. Because if you're in alignment and you're doing what you have come here to do, your mission, then triggering people is kind of perfect. And I think that you're meant to be triggering. You might have Scorpio placements. You might have Pluto placements that make you kind of a triggering energy. You might have Uranus placements or Aquarius. There's something about you that I feel like gets under people's skin, and it's like, they can feel really triggered by you. They can react in big ways. And I think that you've kind of subconsciously tried to cater to those people and be like, oh, I don't want to trigger someone. I don't want to step on their toes. I don't want to like stand out too much, or I don't want to be too fabulous or too beautiful or something. And I just feel like it's like, no, like you're realizing that actually is not who you want to be and how you want to live your life. And in shedding that layer and in kind of like individuating, you're actually reaching your highest levels of success. You're really finding your authentic voice and your authentic embodiment. And you're feeling yourself like so strongly. Like I see you feeling really attractive and magnetic, but also having this level of independence where it's like you're not so concerned if people love you or hate you, because you know that what you're doing is what you're here to do. And yes, I do see for some reason, look, it could just be that you're a triggering person, and that's part of your magic, and that's part of your soul's design, like how you designed your life is like, for some reason, you might be here to awaken consciousness through triggering people, or it might be something you do just through the fact that people are quite jealous of you, especially with that queen energy. Okay, like I'm seeing you might attract a lot of jealousy. Actually, the throat chakra, one of the shadows is jealousy and comparison. So it's like people might compare themselves to you and be really jealous of you, and that has been a subconscious block to you really stepping into your power or stepping into your beauty or your magnetism in some way, your level of success that you're here to really achieve. So I'm seeing you shedding these layers and just going for it. And like I said, feeling more independent and like detached. It's sort of like being detached from the ways that people can react. Because I feel like there's something about you that can be quite polarizing. Like I feel a lot of people love you and adore you, and you actually have the ability to kind of have this adoring fan base, like people loving you, just like how people love celebrities, or like they love certain artists and stuff. Like that's kind of the archetype that you're here to hold. But equally, you will have to also deal with people not loving you and people being jealous or people not understanding or being afraid of your power, or something about you is controversial, or you're spiritual, or you own your spirituality, or you talk about something that's very futuristic that people are like, what on earth? But there's something about it, Spirit wants you to know, that it's very in alignment. Like what you're doing, like the way that you're integrating this authenticity into your work, into your voice, into your communication, into your divine role, it's very, very, very authentic. And it's very in alignment with the truth. And for some of you, it's like you really are very futuristic. Like it might be that you are a performer of some kind and you're integrating more of your spirituality into your performance. And people are like, what? Like spirituality, what? But it's like, maybe in the future, this is what like everyone's doing, and it becomes like this huge trend. So it's sort of like, I feel like you might need to be more okay with being a trendsetter, because that's who you are authentically. You're not a follower. You're not here to follow, other people's ways of doing things. You're here to invent your own way and invent your own path. And that's what's going to make you the most successful person and the most successful version of yourself. For some of you, it's like you might even just be starting something new over the next 6 months or something, and you might go viral instantly. Like that's what I'm seeing, because there's something about it where it's like so a part of your divine role. It's kind of like you've been training for this your whole life. Yeah. The other thing with the horse card that I'm getting is that it says delegating authority, accepting help from another. And it's like, I feel that your business or your art, like something about your name might be growing, like to an extent that you need to hire help. Like you might need a personal assistant or a manager or an agent, or you might have employees. There's something about the scale is getting a lot bigger, and you're going to have the resources to like hire help and to have a lot of things kind of automated for you, like where you're not going to have to think about things so much yourself. It's going to be like more fluid and streamlined, where you're going to have people working for you, and you're going to actually let them in, because part of this hyper independence, like I said, might be that you do everything yourself. But that can become literally impractical when you get to a certain scale, when you get to a certain point where it's like you have to start delegating. You have to start having people help you, or working on your business, or managing your performances, your bookings, or whatever it is. I really see this big change for you, group 2, where you're letting go of the fears and you're almost enjoying. It's like you're enjoying being controversial, or you're enjoying being different, or you're enjoying being from the future. And it's something about you really connecting in with spirit, having a really close relationship with spirit, and checking in and be like, yeah, well, this is in alignment, or this is true. What I'm saying is true. So if people, criticize it or don't understand it, then that's just their own fear. That's their own shadow. And it's like you're clearing out your own shadow so that you aren't taking on the shadow energies of others. Or if people are jealous of you, instead of being like, oh no, like maybe I should not be so beautiful or talented or something, you're just like, whatever, let them be jealous. And that's, again, like it's something that I feel like you've had to grapple with, because something about your divine role, like the literal divine role that is your mission to embody, it will attract both positive and negative attention, because it's going to attract a lot of attention. You're meant to have a lot of attention, a lot of eyes on you, a lot of spectators, a lot of viewers, a lot of listeners, a lot of people taking in what you have to say or your artwork. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to pull more cards for you. Group number 2, Spirit, what do you want them to know? about their future timeline, this future self. Wow. We have the B, luck, industriousness, and sweet victory, and we have forgiveness. Very interesting. And then back of the deck is communication. There's that throat chakra that I was talking about. You are an expert communicator. You're an artist with your voice, with the way that you communicate. It's just incredible. It really is. Okay, so forgiveness. Forgiveness. I just split the deck and I got beauty. It's something about you letting yourself be this version of you, this extremely beautiful butterfly that it's taken you some time to karmically be able to embody. And it's like forgiveness maybe for the pattern that was created. It's like you're forgiving the pattern. You're forgiving yourself for holding yourself back, and you're forgiving any kind of people that might have played a role in generating this sort of belief in yourself of oh, I have to play small, or I have to dim my light, or maybe I'm not good enough, or I'm not lovable, I'm not talented. It's like I was saying at the start of your reading, this block that you've had, this shadow work that's blocked sort of the success from coming in, it's deeply subconscious. And once that starts to shift, everything in your life will change rapidly with the B. It's luck, industriousness, sweet victory. This is rapid success. Some of you have heard me say it before, but the B is number 16, right? That is the number of the tower in the tarot. The major arcana number 16 is the tower, okay? The tower, when the tower falls, things shift rapidly and in massive ways. That can be quite shocking. But it's the luck, right? It's shifting in your favor. It's you are going to have a tower fall where you might go from a small scale to a massive, large scale with your work, with your audience, with your business, with your success, with your sales, whatever it looks like for you. There's something about you stepping into your divine role. For some of you, it's having the courage to step into it even for the first time, and then feeling wow, I have instant success. And I think that's because you've done so much shadow work leading up to you stepping into this role where it's everything can kind of come in for you really easily. And I feel this reading is really important for you to start really believing in the shadow work that you've been doing and the things that you've been clearing. Because the B and the Queen, it's wow. No wonder people kind of love you and hate you, right? It's sort of it depends, because both ways you're inspiring people, both ways you're activating people. And you have this very divine role where you're an activator, you're an inspiration, and you're meant to give your light to the world, no matter how it is received. If people receive it and they feel activated and they feel inspired, then of course that makes you feel great. But if people receive it and they feel triggered and they feel jealous or hatred, or they try to criticize or whatever, shame you, well, then you've still activated them. You have. It's just that it looks different to when you activate people through inspiration. And that's what I'm saying about you kind of detaching out of how people respond to you. Because if you are in alignment with what you are here to do, if you are living out your divine role, then how you are triggering people in the world is perfect. It just is. It's how it's meant to be. Especially because you have a very futuristic energy where you are kind of ahead of your times. And if you're in a field, if you are a traditional performer of some kind, a musician or something, you are meant to be different to your colleagues, to the people who might be in the same genre as you. You're meant to be different. You're meant to bring a certain essence of spiritual kind of power. And instead of seeing that as being oh, maybe I need to be like everyone else, it's no, see that uniqueness, that futuristic energy as being the reason for your success, as being literally gold. You are a treasure. You have so much talent within you. And it's about reframing it. And again, you're forgiving yourself, I feel, for what you've gone through in life. There's something about forgiveness. It's because of the experience you had, you've always been this role. You've always been this controversial energy. Like I said, you might have Aquarius placements, Scorpio placements, Pluto, Uranus. Those are the kind of energies that I'm getting. It's kind of being futuristic, or living life on your own terms, being highly independent and being highly triggering or polarizing to people, Plutonian kind of energy, or an Aquarian kind of energy. And it's people kind of love you or hate you. And I feel you as a child, being this role already, you just are this person, right? So it's there's something where you developed some kind of thing where it's you're oh, maybe I need to, be more likable, or I need to be more just like everyone else, and I don't want to stand out. And it's you're forgiving the world for making you feel that way. You're forgiving yourself for kind of conforming in that way. You're forgiving any kind of parental figures that may have been jealous of you or shamed of you or something like this, it's like there's just a huge level of forgiveness. Part of this internal shift is like releasing so much, just letting it go and being like, you know what, I am who I am and I love who I am and I'm accepting who I am and I'm accepting myself as talented, beautiful, fabulous, and I'm accepting that level of success that I desire now. And that's what you're doing. You're accepting help from another. You're accepting who you are. And that is leading to your like greatest level of success yet. And I feel like you're just going to be feeling so lucky with the B, like you're going to be feeling such a victory, and it's going to happen very effortlessly with the Queen. It's like, yes, you're going to be busy, you're going to be booked, you're going to have a lot of people interested in your energy, you're going to have a lot of creative life force to do all these projects and keep putting your voice out in the world. But at the same time, there's going to be a level of effortless and a flow to this because you've cleared these internal blocks that create resistance, these subconscious blocks that are creating the resistance. So this future version of you isn't even that far away, group 2. And oh my God, I'm so excited for you. And I'm so happy for you. I just feel like you're just going to be feeling like literally the queen or the king of your own life. And it took you a while to really accept this because the role that you're here to play is quite different. And it is a lot. Like there's a lot of attention. There's a lot of people reacting to you. Even if you try, the thing is that even if you try to be normal or something, it's like people are still going to have these reactions to you. So you may as well be your authentic self. You may as well be the most creative, excellent, like successful version of yourself, the richest version of yourself, the most beautiful version of yourself. Why hold yourself back? And that's what I think you're realizing, and it's all clicking into place. And once you, like I said, once you release things from the inside, from the subconscious, things in your life change rapidly, like as fast as the tower, like it just overnight change. Everything starts to change. The universe responds to you completely differently. So this is very, very available to you. All right, group 2, that is your reading. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you would like to check out more of my work, my links are in the description box below. For your group, I really feel that the Activate Your Voice Throat Chakra healing from my shop would really serve you, as well as the Rebirth, Quantum Rebirth healing. I really feel like that's a perfect one for you for what you're going through, as well as really all of the sacred element activations. But if I had to think, maybe the sacred fire activation, sacred air activation, sacred earth activation, but also sacred water. So if you resonate with any of those, all the links are in the description box below, and I'm sending you so much love and light. Hello, group number 3, and welcome to your reading. So you chose the heart chakra as your card, and I feel like in this future timeline that I'm tuning into for you, you are really living anchored in your heart, like most or all of the time, certainly a majority of the time. And what that really means is like when you've probably experienced it being a spiritual person, you will have experienced it at different times. It's sort of this unity consciousness where you feel love for all things, for all beings. And there's this openness in your heart, and the way that things manifest in your life become really fluid and really easy. And there's not this sense of like, oh, I really don't want to have to, I don't know, like bump into this person. I hope I don't see them. Or there's sort of this more open-hearted, like loving energy towards everyone and everything. And it's kind of like nothing can touch you and nothing can hurt you. I feel like this is a very different energy than what you've gone through in life. Like you might have had a lot of things happen in your life that might have created kind of like a bitterness or a resentment during like your healing phase, which is totally natural and kind of necessary. And I'm kind of, what's really interesting is like I'm kind of getting like the bitterness is actually like part of the alchemy work because it helps to break things down, like bitter things. For example, like bitter herbs is really good for the digestion and like the liver and the gallbladder and things like that because it helps with like bile production in the body and it helps like things breaking down. So I'm kind of seeing like you had to go through kind of like a bitterness or a resentment towards like things that may have really hurt you or people. And that was like a really necessary part because it helped with the alchemy work of like breaking down traumas so that you could get to this point of being really open-hearted and living in this way that's like really open-hearted and free. So I see you having let go of a lot of things that really hurt you. It could even be that you incarnated in this lifetime having a more closed off heart space due to just past life conditions that you were going through. And this life has been like, I feel like a lot of you actually this life has been about opening your heart. Some of you might have had more of a naturally opened heart, but I think for some of you in this group, you actually had a very closed off heart space, like a cold. When I feel a closed off heart space energetically, it's like I feel kind of like a frozen energy, like the heart has been frosted over and it needs time to defrost and become warm. So I feel like this real warmth, like a fire in your belly, and it keeps your heart open and it warms you from the inside out. And the biggest change is like, again, how things manifest for you, because when you're in this open-hearted kind of unity consciousness, it's like things manifest in the most joyful of ways. Like, even if there's someone who you don't particularly like, or I don't know, it's like that day you just don't see them when you go walking to this spot that they're always at, or that day you get to see this really lovely side of them and they're nice to you. It's like things can manifest in a way that is like really trippy when the heart is open. Whereas when the heart is closed, we are often then anchored in the solar plexus chakra, and the solar plexus chakra means that we can attract things where it's like people might come against you or say something really negative or mean, or you might feel really drained by interactions with people. Whereas when you're in the heart, it's like things really don't drain you. It's like even if someone, like I said, was previously draining to you, if you saw them again, something about that interaction would just be like water off a duck's back, and you would be like, you know what, that was fine. And you just go about your day. So I'm seeing something about relationships where like maybe they just haven't always been easy for you. Like things just haven't necessarily clicked or flowed, or you've had a lot of situations which were really unpleasant, or you didn't like a lot of people. You might have this thing where it's like you haven't met many people that you actually like or you get along with, and that might have felt like a bit of a drain or drag or something. And I'm just seeing like this totally changed, this real alchemical change in your body where you really are living anchored from the heart. And it's sort of like nothing can touch you. No one can touch you. No one can come in and ruin your day or drain you, or you don't feel so afraid of the outside world. You know, like a lot of sensitive people, empaths, they need to create like strong boundaries, yes, but sometimes that can also look like kind of isolation and, you know, maybe not having very many friends or not finding very many people that you resonate with or that you love, that light you up, and kind of retreating away from relationship or away from the world in a certain way. So I'm seeing this future timeline. It's like you don't have any of that need to self-isolate too excessively. Like, yes, you'll still enjoy solitude and things like this, but it's like going into the world won't drain you. It won't make you feel kind of like all messed up afterwards. Your nervous system won't get fried. You won't feel, you know, like, well, that wasn't even enjoyable. I don't know why I dragged myself to that social gathering because I didn't even like it, that kind of thing. So it's going to be a totally different landscape for you, like where you're going to be feeling a lot more integrated into the world around you, into kind of your community or just where you live, like feeling like, yeah, I want to get out today or I want to do this thing. I'm seeing just a lot of things that may have been restricted or held back from you really flowing into your life. And if you have had more of that closed over heart, that can also look like feeling quite numbed out in your emotional experience, or even it can look like having really extreme and excessive emotional responses to things where it can be hard to regulate things. I'm just seeing your emotions really balancing out and things being quite easy and effortless in the way that things sort of manifest for you, instead of these really harsh extremes where you might, like I said, feel like you need to isolate or take a lot of time by yourself to kind of recover from it, or, you know, social gatherings are really disappointing and you don't like them. I'm just seeing a different landscape that you're going to be walking through, where you're going to be much more enjoying the world around you and the experiences and opportunities that are available to you. Okay, so group number 3, let us pull you some cards. Which cards are we going to do? We're going to do some tarot cards, okay? So this is the Psychic Tarot Oracle deck. Spirit, what do you want group 3 to know? What do you want group 3 to know about their future self, future timeline? Harmony. Yay, harmony. That's right. So this card in traditional tarot is the Lover's card, and look at that, back of the deck is conflict and defeat, and it's like that's the energy I was picking up that I feel like you've gone through in your life, is like a lot of conflict and defeat. And this one was poking out to me as well, the 3 of Swords, heartache and loss, and the 5 of Swords, conflict and defeat. It's like you've had a lot of heartache, might have had a lot of loss, or things in life have just like sort of rubbed you the wrong way. Like I said, I feel like maybe social situations haven't been super fulfilling, or you haven't found your people. And I'm just seeing that it's like a totally different life for you, a totally different landscape. You might also be coming into union with your divine counterpart if that hasn't already taken place for you in your life. I really feel like with this Lovers card, the depiction, they're like two elves, I feel. So it's like you're going to find people that are the same as you, right? It's like if you're an elf walking around the world and you don't see any other elves, then you might feel quite lonely, you might feel quite isolated. But then you meet, your partner who's also an elf, and then you have elf babies, or you meet elf friends, and you're like this little elven tribe of like souls that you really resonate with at the deepest level. That's sort of what I'm picking up for you, if that makes sense. So it's like I feel your divine counterpart coming in this future timeline if they're not there already. And see, there's even green flowing from their hearts there. It's like, yeah, it's going to be a very deep heart-based connection, the purest love that there is. And it's going to open your heart to the whole of earth and the whole of the world. And I just feel you feeling this deep compassion for all beings and all things, and really letting go of resentment. As I said, I feel like the resentment, the bitterness was like a part of your alchemy process. It's like, it was like what is called like decomposition, like when something moves from one form to another, and like the bitterness is actually helping to break it down. So it's like there's no judgment here about that. It's just a natural phase in your evolutionary cycle. But you're going to get to the point where it's like you've really actually let go of that bitterness and that resentment towards the world at large. Maybe you're disappointed in humanity, or you've been really let down by people, or you've gone through some childhood trauma, or you just incarnated from a past life as well with this stuff already in you. And I feel like your experience of relationships and the landscape of your relationships is going to be so different. And I feel like you're going to really love this person who you're with, even if you're already with them now. I think that because your heart is still healing, there's like a part of you that hasn't fully maybe opened to them, or you haven't fully like experienced the depth of connection that you can experience on earth when your both hearts are healed. There's like a deeper love that can be shared. And that's what I'm seeing in this future timeline. So let's see what else, Spirit, from this? Wow, got another major arcana for you. We've got the World card, the Universe card, and look, back of the deck again is this heartache and loss. So you've been through it, group 3, okay? You've been through it. Spirit's really acknowledging that, but this is a totally different phase in your life where your heart is really, really healed, right? Your heart feels totally different than you've ever experienced before. And I think that you didn't even know that life could be this good. I feel that you're going to be a lot more sensitive in your emotional experience. Like I said, I feel like there's been this frozen over energy a little bit in your heart that naturally kind of comes from experiencing heartache and loss and experiencing trauma, whether in this life or another. And it's defrosting, and so much emotional sensitivity is coming through you, and so much love and compassion. Like you could, I don't know, see a flower on the side of the road and like shed a tear, or I don't know, just like feel love for like each and every person that you like meet in the street. Even though you don't know them, you still like see them at a deeper level, and you feel the love, like just like the divine, like spirit, the universe has love. Yeah, the universe. It's like you're going to be feeling universal love and compassion, the kind of love that spirit feels, that God feels for each person. Is like you're going to be tapped into that frequency of love, where it's like even if someone is, I don't know, whatever, maybe in the past you would have judged them, and then now it's like you feel love for them, you feel compassion for them, you feel kindness and softness towards them. And that's going to be such a huge difference for you. And it's going to kind of, I feel like you're going to be feeling quite enlightened by this. Like there's something about this that's really helping you to be at a much higher frequency. I'm seeing psychic abilities as well now as I'm tuning in, like you're fully embodying your psychic abilities with this upgrade. This heart opening and this anchoring into your heart. Some of you actually have heart chakra gifts, like it's who you are as a soul, is that you're meant to have this very open and healed heart, and that's been kind of blocked off from you and kept from you, like from these experiences of heartache and loss throughout your life or your past lives as well. So, wow, so the universe, spirit, let's go into that. I feel like that's, for some reason, this is giving me like psychic abilities. I feel like you're going to be really embodying psychic abilities as well. Let's see a little bit about that. You're kidding me. Another major arcana. We got the Star card with hope. What? And the back of the deck here is destiny. We got the Wheel of Fortune. So I'm going to pull that. You've got all major arcana group 3. So, oh my God. And I split the deck and I got the sun. Okay. This is so profound. Like this is a huge destiny shift for you. This is you really shifting into more of a path of your destiny that I feel like you've been kept from. maybe even for more than one lifetime. And that's why it feels like you're literally, it's sort of like in a movie. You know how like in movies, I don't know, there's sort of this trope where they might wake up in an alternative reality and then they're looking at the world and everything looks new and it's kind of like, oh my gosh, this thing. And everyone's like, whoa, this person, like, why do they care about this, traffic light? It's always been there. But maybe they're like from another time or they're from another world and they come into this world and they're like, wow, this thing's crazy. What's going on? It's like you're almost going to have completely fresh eyes to see the world. Like you're going to be born again and you're going to be, you're going to be seeing the world completely differently. And you're going to be like, wait, what? And everything will look different to you. Like you're going to be, it's very spiritual, like what you're going through. It will impact your relationships, like I said, partnership, and also soul family. I see all of that tick, 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 tick. But it's deeper than that in that I see your spiritual consciousness being so evolved. Like you're going to be really sitting in a similar frequency as enlightenment. Like there's something quite similar in that because you're holding the love that spirit holds. You're holding the consciousness that is the universal consciousness of love, where you're seeing love for all beings and all things. And it's not a lack of discernment. It's just from it's like a higher frequency. It's a higher frequency elevation where you aren't attracting these real conflict kind of energies or people really coming against you because your energy is so loving that it's like people just, they get repelled. If they come to you with negative intentions, it's like they just get repelled away in a different direction. Or if they start thinking about, I don't know, doing something to spite you or hurt you, suddenly they get distracted. It's like you're going to have this like spiritual protection that is like so insane. It's really cool. Or I don't know, something about like I'm seeing magic. Like you might be, I don't know, like some authority figure, like being like, oh, I've got to check on this person. I'm going to go to their house and make sure they've signed this thing or something. And then it's like you just end up disappearing off their list. Like there's something about this energy is so powerful that it's like you do not attract any longer conflict and things that would create this sense of bitterness and resentment at the world of like, oh, people always treat me badly, or, people are always out for themselves, or they always stab me in the back or something. It's like that will no longer be able to manifest in your energy field. And anyone who may have those ideas, they can't fulfill their plans. It doesn't work. They get rebounded. It's like your energy is like they get rebounded off it. They get just like pushed away, or they just forget about it. They're like, I'm not interested anymore. And that's going to feel so different to you because I feel like there's been a part of you that's kind of lived a little bit in defensive mode. Like you've kind of been a bit on the defense. And I think it's because you're a very pure-hearted being. You're a very pure-hearted soul. And then coming to this earth and like learning about evil and things that people do, there's duality, there's things that are almost unspeakable that happen on this earth. And I feel like you're someone who's felt that very strongly and very deeply in a way that a lot of people maybe are more numb to, and they don't really care. And they're like, whatever, it's not impacting me, so I don't care. Whereas like, I feel like you're someone who cares, like you care very deeply. And so I feel like you kind of have this, a bit of like, you feel heartbroken or something by the earth, like where you're like, how could the earth do this? This isn't how we're meant to be. We're meant to be love. We're meant to be in this universal loving energy. But then because of that kind of like feeling so abandoned by the universe, or feeling so let down by people, or resentment, bitterness, kind of against others, it's almost blocked you though from being in that heart, in that universal love energy that you feel that we should all be in. So you're kind of going to be more like the example and be the energy, like be the change you want to see in the world. You're going to be that energy that you've been heartbroken that others aren't. Like you're going to start to actually be that. And it's going to really free your energy and free your soul up a lot. Like I said, you're not going to manifest conflict and drama and, I don't know, authority figures abusing power or whatever like kind of history that you might have come from. It's like none of that will be a match to your energy field anymore. And it's going to be like magic, like just like magic. It just doesn't happen. It can't happen. It can't come into your energy field. It can't come into your life. And that's why I was saying about like walking around the world. Say you're like, oh, I don't like walking around my city because there's someone from my past I don't want to run into or something. It's like you're going to know in your heart that you're fine to walk around your city because you kind of like let go of that. Like you've let go of the fear of seeing them. And even if you saw them, you're like, you know what, I wouldn't care. I would just be like, hi, how's it going? Or you would just walk on or whatever it be. It's like you've neutralized some kind of fears about seeing someone or having conflicts happen so that they kind of don't like happen anymore. I don't know, it's kind of a hard thing to explain, but I'm just I'm trying to explain it. Or it's like maybe there's like a cashier at a restaurant or a shop or something that you always go to and you're like, "Oh, I hate it when they're working because they always make comments and they're mean to me or something." And then it's like maybe because you're in this energy, either they're not working that day, every day that you go, they're not working anymore, or when you go, you suddenly see a different side of them and suddenly they're trying to get your approval and they're trying to like get you to love on them kind of thing. And it's like, what is this? Like the whole world's kind of flipped around and things are changed. And that's what I'm seeing is like the energy from within you is going to be so powerful and so unshakable. And you're not going to be afraid of things that might have in the past come in to like rattle you or like shift your frequency where you're like, oh, this person's draining, or they always trigger me, or I don't want to see this person from my past, or whatever it might be. It's like that isn't going to cross your mind anymore. You're just going to like leave the house and be like, here I am, I'm off to do this thing, or I'm going to here. And the whole universe will kind of like be on your side and like like things will go in your favor. Which is going to be a big change. Because I'm seeing you may have manifested a lot of conflict or like people coming against you or bullying in the past or like narcissism, narcissistic abuse, things like this. That can take a long time to really clear from our energy field. You are a really master healer as well with the heart chakra. Keep that in mind. Some of you might not even realize this about yourself. Some of you might, but you are actually like a really incredible healer. Like regardless of if you know that about yourself or not, you are an incredible healer. And you don't have to necessarily try to heal, but you will be healing. Like you don't need to try so hard to heal, but just naturally and organically, you are constantly healing, and you're constantly healing others as well. Like being in the heart space, people will feel like you already are like this, but even more so in this future timeline that I'm tuning in for you, like even more so. People will be in your energy field and it's like pieces of themselves will come back into wholeness. Like they will feel healed in your energy field and it will have a lasting impact. People are going to be very drawn to you and they're not going to know why. Like you're going to have this energy of like people being gravitated towards you, like for the best kind of reasons. And people are going to treat you with a lot of respect, like a lot of admiration and respect. Yeah, you are going to be like a very bright light in the world with the sun card. That's for sure. You're going to be a bright light. People are going to take notice of you and your energy field when you're like out and about in the world or with your work in the world. But there's something about where you're going to be like operating at a different level. Like it feels very spiritual and energetic. Like the first two groups, for example, in comparison, they were more practical. Like I was tuning into more like practical aspects of life, like money or relationship or career or something. But your group, it's like, it's just so spiritual. Like it's a spiritual consciousness shift that I'm feeling in your future. And everything in your life is going to be great. Like you can't be in this level of unity consciousness in your heart, this level of like highly evolved consciousness, and not have things be great and not have things be easy and not have great relationships and not have, soulmate connections and soul family love. Like you're going to have it all. You're going to be you're going to have a role as a spiritual leader. Like you can't not with this kind of energy. It might not be huge. Like I could see you being a writer actually. I see you more behind the scenes, even if you do have notoriety. Oh, no, that's not the right word. Even if you are like noticed a lot in your work, you have some kind of public image in some way, I still see you being more private, being more introverted, or maybe like choosing to work more one-on-one or be a writer, like so kind of having your name out there, but not necessarily, being a social media influencer or an actor or something. It's more like private energy, I feel, for your group. There's some kind of privacy here. But I do see writing for you. I feel like you're a brilliant writer, and I feel like you're going to be expressing your ideas and maybe even your life journey or about consciousness, talking about spirituality, talking about psychic abilities, things like this, spiritual abilities. I feel like you're going to be expressing this in some way. You're going to feel kind of the need to share your wisdom and like teach in a certain way. But it feels very not commercialized. Like it doesn't feel like you're like marketing yourself heaps. It's more like you just put it out there and then people feel the essence of your work. They feel the essence of your wisdom. they feel the energy that you're putting out and they're like, wow, I resonate with this. Like, people are going to feel you before you even enter a room. They're going to feel a shift, and then you enter the room and people are going to look at you and kind of not know what they're seeing. Like, they're not going to really know. They're not going to know how to put their finger on it, like how to put words to it. But a lot of people might feel drawn to you, and you might have people come up and talk to you, and then you have a really synchronistic conversation or something like this, where it's like people are going to really trust you instantly as well. You will have kind of a following, and I feel like you're going to manage your boundaries really well with that, because I do see you're more of a private soul. I see you're very introverted, or you need a lot of time just to be in your own energy. Also, I'm seeing like at this level of consciousness, you're not really going to care so much about like the fame or the fortune. That stuff you're going to be very detached from. It's not going to really bother you as much, but at the same time, because you're so detached, it will be very easy for you to have those things. You know, it's kind of like when you let go of something, it can come in for you. And so, you know, you're not going to be like, oh my God, I'm writing this book. Is anyone going to read it? Will people like what I have to say? It's not going to have any of that kind of frequency to it. You're just going to be like, yeah, I feel guided to write this book and I'm going to release it now. And then you'll kind of just let it go. And then maybe you'll check in with it and be like, oh yeah, I got like heaps of sales. People really liking it. People really resonate. And there's just some kind of like level of detachment that I feel, because you're in such a frequency of like universal consciousness, that you're just not so worried about those things. You're very much in the physical. In the physical. Well, you will be in the physical, that's true. But I was going to say you're very much in the non-physical, in like the spiritual, to the point where you might have to actively ground yourself. You're going to be like floating. You're going to be astral projecting and journeying and floating around and all these ideas. And, you know, writers are often like dreamy and in their heads. Like, I'm seeing that kind of archetype where you're kind of going to be like a bit in your head and like inventing and thinking and philosophizing and, you know, maybe meditating and like doing kind of like spiritual quests in the astral realm and stuff like this, to the point where I think that you might need to have some things like bring you back down to earth. And I think that relationships will be one of those things that really anchor you and ground you back into the physical realm, and also that kind of make you want to stay here, because you're going to be having a lot of friends in the astral. You're going to be friends with like your spirit guides, with the angels, with like ascended masters. You're going to be friends with like passed over spirits. Like, you're going to have so much activity psychically that it's almost like going to be more entertaining to you than the physical realm in a lot of ways. But I also see like maybe this relationship being something that really grounds you in. Maybe your partner is more earthy and rooted. It's what I'm kind of seeing. Like, you're kind of partnered together as divine counterparts, because one of you is more rooted and earthbound. Not that they aren't spiritual and psychic, because I think they are, but they're just a little bit more like root chakra kind of energy. And then you're a little bit more like floating around like a cloud, like a magical cloud that's all sparkly and pretty and amazing. And you kind of complement each other well, and they help ground you into this world and kind of keep you here, because I just feel you very detached. Like, I don't see you afraid of death at all. I feel you very peaceful about like the incarnational cycle, and it's crazy energy. I've never tuned into anything like this before, okay? This is crazy. I love it, but it's like, it's kind of blowing my mind. Like, I think that it's something that you won't fully understand until you experience it, because frequency, like our perspective is just so different from different frequencies and different vantage points. And it is kind of like you're going to have that feeling like that you have been placed into a new planet, and you're looking around the world and you're like, everything looks new to me. Every single thing around me looks new. And you're going to feel fascination for like the traffic lights, which before was just so boring to you, and you're like, whatever. And you're going to be like, wow, what an interesting invention. And how interesting that it stops and starts and the flow of traffic goes like this. Like, there's just something about the way that you're looking at things, and you're looking at the way that things flow and the energy currents behind all things. It's like you're looking with this clairvoyant energy, so you're seeing things in a totally different way, and you're seeing like, yeah, the currents of energy, the colors of auras. And so it makes everything look totally different. And even like looking at people, like you will have a reading on someone at the deepest level. Like, you'll look at someone and you'll be like, yeah, I can see their past lives. I can see what they've gone through in this life. I can see what their struggles are. I can see what their triumphs are. I can see their strengths. I can see their gifts. I can see what their life purpose is. And that is like kind of an insane superpower. Like, I feel like you're going to have access to superpowers, like powers that humans have often been kept from in certain ways because it takes a certain consciousness level to be receiving them, because otherwise it would be unsafe, right? With great power comes great responsibility. So it's like you have to kind of be you have to be at a certain consciousness level to receive certain powers that humans have access to. Like, we have superpowers, we have psychic abilities that are beyond kind of what many of us have ever dreamed of. And I think you'll be touching that in this lifetime. You'll be experiencing that in this lifetime. And it takes a lot of responsibility because we have to hold that with a lot of love and care. So it's like, I see you, that's why I see you seeing everyone with love, because you understand, like, this is what they've gone through. This is why they're this way. This is why they're grumpy, or this is why this person is addicted to this thing, or this is why this person's sad. And you're just going to understand people, and people are going to feel when they're around you like so loved, because you have this universal love, this universal consciousness of like unity love, where you're like, yeah, I love you. Even though you don't know them, you exude this love. I don't think you're going to say anything to them. I think you're going to kind of respect people's boundaries, but people are going to feel so seen by you. Like, if you just lock eyes with someone, on the beach or in a crowded place or something, they're just going to be like, whoa, like, it's going to send a shockwave of electricity through them, and they're going to feel so seen. It's like, how does this person know me better than I've ever, like, how can they see me better than I've ever seen myself? And it's like, it's actually going to unlock pieces of themselves for them. They're going to see more of who they are. And like, this is crazy, group 3. This is kind of like the energy. It really feels like the energy of like waking up in a new place. Like, you just moved like somewhere that you've never seen before, but you're in somewhere you've lived. Like, it's new eyes, it's fresh eyes, but everything around you might technically be the same. It's really trippy, okay? It's really, really cool. And your psychic abilities are going to be like amazing, to the point where, like I said, I think that you're going to need something to like keep you in this physical realm, or else you're just going to go off and be like a spirit again, because you're going to be so close to that energy of like being in the spiritual, being a non-physical, being a spirit, like an angelic kind of guide energy kind of. You're just going to be like, yeah. And that is part of kind of who you're meant to be. Like, I feel like you're meant to kind of be this very dreamy kind of soul. Dreamy, like, I don't know what the word is. It's just, I guess, just spiritual and like gifted, like psychically gifted. That's how you're meant to be. And you're just going to understand this place and understand like what's going on here. And I think maybe if you've had a lot of questions, because I feel like you're very kind of in your head, you've thought a lot about things, you've philosophized a lot in life. And I think you might have had a lot of questions in life of like, when, or like, why is life like this? Just endless amounts of questions. And I think you're going to have answers to them. You're going to have like this wisdom kind of unlocked within you, where you're like, yeah, this is the answer. This is what it is. Well, that is insane. Okay. This is a crazy reading. It's so cool. And I said when, because I was thinking actually in my head, like, when some of you might be asking, like, when in the future does this refer to? And what I feel is, because all of your cards are major arcana, it's a spiritual timing. When we do timing tarot, we use like pentacles as years, cups, sorry, my brain, cups as months, wands as weeks, and swords as days if we do timing tarot. And then the major arcana represents divine timing, things that can't be, really said or spoken. And obviously your card pool is all major arcana, and it just has a very deeply spiritual and essence to your reading. So it's like, I don't feel like I can put a time frame on this. It will be different for all of you, but it's in divine timing. And it's certainly, I feel, really close to your like true divine blueprint and your soul's archetype of like who you really are. It's like you're really achieving brilliance, and that's going to look like this unity consciousness, this open heart, these psychic abilities, really transforming your life and your love. Wow. Group 3, you're amazing. Like, I can literally very honestly say you are amazing, okay? This reading was also amazing. Thanks for letting me tune in for you. If you would like to check out more of my work, please see the links in the description box below. I feel like you might really resonate with the elemental healing activation series that I just did, especially because I feel like it might help with the kind of energies of resentment and bitterness that you might still be moving through as you are healing your heart. Maybe I need to do a heart chakra healing actually as well. I might put that on my list, because you've kind of given me some newfound inspiration. And I also have my group Terra Nova. It's just been restructured. The price has been brought down. So if you'd like to go have a look, we're doing new things this year. And yeah, other than that, I'm sending you so much love and light. Take care.